What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jonathan from the Rideshare Panel, and today we're going to talk about the difference between driving for Lyft or Uber and delivering for Amazon Flex. So I'm bringing up this topic because I know of a lot of drivers that in the past had driven for Uber and Lyft and are now primarily doing Amazon Flex or heavily leaning towards Amazon Flex if they mix and do both. And let's take a look at, a few of the different categories that kind of impact that decision making, with the most important being earnings. And so I'm going to take a look at kind of what earnings are here in Seattle, and then, briefly look at national averages, but that's kind of hard to get a figure on. So let's take a look at the Seattle numbers first. Uber and Lyft drivers in Seattle make on average between $23 and $24 per hour. Now that's kind of a high average that I've seen. A lot of times it can end up being lower than that, so that's a very nice estimate. If you drive in the area, feel free to weigh in. And so that obviously changes depending on where you're at. There's places around the country that are closer to $10 an hour, and then there's markets that are even busier than Seattle, such as like San Francisco, where I've heard of part-time drivers right now doing closer to $28, $29 an hour. Amazon Flex, on the other hand, pays you in blocks, and they tell you exactly what you're going to make before you pick up the block. But these block estimates kind of vary depending on what their demand is for drivers. So on the app, I've kind of seen different rates pop up, and the average, in my opinion, is $60 to $66 for a 3-hour block to a 3.5-hour block with Amazon Flex, and that comes out to be like $20 to $22 per hour. But this definitely varies. A lot of times you'll finish your Amazon block in a lot less than 3 hours. I've finished a lot of them in closer to an hour or an hour and a half. And there's also times when there's really high demand, and Amazon will offer you something more like $90 an hour for that 3-hour block. And you might even finish that $90 block in a lot faster than 3 hours. So it's rates like this that make driving for Amazon Flex and earnings very attractive, and it's one of the reasons why I spend a lot of my time doing Amazon Flex instead of doing Lyft or Uber. So with payouts, Amazon Flex pays out twice per week. They pay out on Tuesdays and Fridays, and it's an automatic transfer. That's a little bit less advantageous than the Lyft Uber payouts, which offer instant payouts for a very, very small fee. But twice weekly is still a pretty good number, so it's definitely nothing to get too worried about. As far as insurance goes, both Lyft and Uber and Amazon Flex provide insurance for their drivers. Insurance has been a big issue for Lyft and Uber, particularly with the gap period when you don't actually have a passenger in your car. There was in the past issues with insurance coverage through Lyft and Uber with gap policies, and I know it's definitely still an issue for a lot of drivers. When you do have a passenger in the car, they offer a really good insurance coverage that definitely covers everything you need. As far as Amazon Flex goes, they also offer a great insurance policy for while you're driving for Amazon Flex, and it's up to like $1 million if anything comes up. Both Lyft and Uber and Amazon Flex have a contingent collision policy where you have to actually have your own insurance policy before you can get covered, and you have to either take a deductible out or make a claim through your insurance policy first. So that's a little bit of a hindrance, but it's kind of to be expected in the rideshare game. The vehicle requirements for Amazon Flex make it a lot easier to get out on the road. You do need to have a car and a 4-door vehicle, but as far as the age of that car goes, it's not really that important. As long as you can reliably deliver packages with your vehicle, Amazon will accept you for the Flex program, which is very different from Lyft or Uber, which usually require that your car is 10 years or newer in just about every market, and it has to be in real good condition. If customers kind of say that you have a dirty vehicle, that can lower your ratings. So it's a lot easier to get on the road for Amazon Flex, and it makes it easier for someone that doesn't have a very nice or very new car to get on the road. Whether you're getting started with Lyft or Uber or Amazon Flex, you're going to have to do a background check and kind of go over some basic info that is needed for just about any job that you're going to pick up, but it's really easy to do and not too much to worry about. Now, as far as the experience goes with both companies, Lyft and Uber are much more passenger oriented, so if you like talking to people, Lyft or Uber is going to be a great opportunity for that, and you're going to be in front of people, having a conversation, which for some people is enough. It actually matters more than how much money you make to some people. But as far as Amazon Flex goes, you're not having people in your car. It's just you and the packages. So if you're not a people person, this might be a better opportunity for you. And one other thing to note, as far as the experience driving for Amazon Flex versus Lyft or Uber, in my experience, getting to the Amazon Flex distribution center can be a trip. I live in Seattle. I have to commute up to Everett or down to South Seattle to get started. But as soon as I do, I usually end up, spending another 10-15 minutes getting to wherever my general location is for dropping off packages. And from there on, I'm literally just almost going door to door. Like from one recipient to the next drop off point for my next package is usually like half a block away. So I would estimate that my gas costs while I'm driving for Amazon Flex are quite a bit lower than Lyft or Uber, because I'm covering less distance and I'm definitely not putting much wear and tear on my car. I'm not doing stop and go and like hitting a bunch of traffic lights. I'm literally just kind of coasting to the next door. So that lowers my expenses a lot in theory. At the end of the day, I personally lean towards Amazon Flex because it's a lot easier to get on the road and less car requirements. Plus you can potentially make a lot more per hour, and you can do that a lot more consistently. But I would say that it's very advantageous to work for both, whether that's Lyft or Uber on top of Amazon Flex, because most people don't have a distribution center right next to their house. So you're going to be driving a ways to get there. And it helps to use like a destination filter to maybe pick up a passenger and monetize that time that you're on the road commuting to that next destination. And with anything else, you're going to have downtime. You're going to want to have a mix and multiple rideshare platforms to work on. So if you're off of a block with Amazon Flex, you can pick up a Lyft or an Uber ride to kind of burn some time and wait for your next block. Blocks are only scheduled for Amazon Flex, at least in the Seattle area. It's only scheduled starting around noon and then ending at 9 p.m. So if you're looking to get out on the road and do stuff earlier than that, then you're most likely going to want to drive for Lyft or Uber before then. So it helps to have a nice healthy mix and to kind of, weigh off of the positives of each one. Now that's all for this video. If you're interested in signing up, I will leave links below and you can click through to sign up. I also have a referral bonus link for Lyft, so make sure to do that. If you haven't signed up yet, you can get a referral bonus through me after you give a minimum requirement number of rides. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be offering tons of different rideshare industry coverage and news and how the latest ways that you can kind of make more money as a rideshare driver and just as a not 9 to 5 hustler.